Good morning, all the students of standard 9. This is a law of motion. Motion you know very well. The things that moves from one place to another place. Now, law we will see in this chapter. Now, just see, they given a topic motion, displacement and distance, acceleration, Newton law of motion and related equations. First see, motion of an object. Motion of an object you know, the object that moves from one place to another place, that we are telling as an motions. Just see an example. Can you tell the flight of a bird, the bird that's flight, that is a motion things. Stationary train, the train that does not move, can you tell that is a motion? You can't say that is a motion. The train is in a motion. Leaves flying through air, the leaves that fall from the air, that is also a motion things. The stone lying on a hill, the stone is there but that is on the hill, that does not move. So you will see in this chapter related to motions. Look, distance and displacement they given. First, when you are traveling in a bus, the person that's sitting with you, can you say that is an motion person? Then what do you take into consideration to decide if an object is moving? If the object is moving, what can you say? That object is moving or not? If the object is moving, that we can say that is an motion things. Now displacement and distance. If you will see displacement and distance, you will think that both is the same thing, but there is difference that we will see in this chapter. First see the figure of 1.1, location of the school and the houses. The figure that given related to first Sangeeta house is there, Seetal house is there, and then Sangeeta house is there, and then the school is there. First Seetal is going to the Sangeeta house, and then both of them they are going to the school. But if the Seetal directly goes to school, then what is the difference? If the Seetal and Prashant they are going to first Sangeeta house, and then they are visiting then they are going to the school. Here the maximum length are there. This maximum length we can say as a distance. This maximum length we are telling as a distance. Just see path A and path B. Path A is 500 meter and path B is 1200 meter. That is total is 1700 meter. But if Seetal and Prashant directly go to school, that is 1300 meter. If the minimum distance is there, if the minimum length is there, then we are telling as a displacement. The maximum length we are telling as a distance, but minimum length we are telling as a displacement. This is a difference of distance and displacement. In a displacement minimum length are there, but in a distance that is a maximum length are there, that they given in figure 1.1. just see, we have seen, let's try this. They given already maximum, the measure the length between the 2 point A and B. First we have seen the A and B point, that is total the length is 1700 meter, that I already told you. Now they given, now measure the distance along the dotted line. The dotted line they are given up Seetal and Prashant house to the school, that is direct length. They given as a direct length of the Seetal house. If you have the dotted line that given that separately on a circle, we can say not circle, but like a not proper figure. So think about it. If Seetal first visit to the Sangeeta house in 1.1 B they given, then Prashant went straight home from the school. Both are walking with the same speed. They have the same speed they given here, but there is a difference of the length. There is a difference of the length they given here. So I given an examples of simple things in this. So if maximum length are there, then we are telling as a distance, and minimum length are there, that we are telling as a displacement. So they given a definition on page number 2 on the block. Distance is the length of actual path traveled by an object in motion while going from one place to another place. One place to another place means if you are traveling to first west, then you are traveling to the north, then you are traveling to the east. So this we are telling as an distance. But if you are directly traveling in a same line or in a same path, as example, if you are traveling only on the west direction, so that we are telling as a displacement. This is the difference of the distance and displacement. Now see, use your brain. They given in a figure, they given a circle and then they given a car. In a circle, they given every morning Savarli walks round the edge of a circular field having a radius of 100 meter. They given a question as shown in figure 1.2a. If we start the point A and takes one round, how much distance has she walked and what is the displacement? Now first they given according to the round. Is it possible to measure the round? How you can measure the distance of the round? In a maths you have seen a circumference. Circumference means the perimeter of the circle. So in the same manner, if they are telling a radius of the 100 meter and if you want to measure the distance, so what you have to do here, 2 pi r. A simple thing you can say. But in the displacement case, you have to measure the directly diameter. The diameter will be 200, but is it possible the distance will be same? In the case of distance, it is 200 pi. That is difference of the things. In the case of the car, look, if a car starts from point P and goes to point Q in the 1.2 figure, and then from point P again it return to point from point P to Q and from Q to P again it return. Now here in the case of the displacement and distance, here displacement will be 0. Why we can say the displacement will be 0? First displacement is 360 meter, but again it comes to 360 meter, but it is a opposite direction. In the case of opposite direction, displacement will be 0. But in the case of the distance, it will be not be 0. Because in the case of distance, I already told you, it moves from one place to another place. From left to right, right to left. So that's why distance will be not 0. But in the case of displacement, opposite direction are there, it will be a 0. That shows the figure. Now speed and velocity you can say. What is speed? But see the first question, what are vector and what are scalar? What are vectors and scalars? First you have to understand what is scalar. Scalar is only magnitude. Scalar is only magnitude. But in the case of vector, it is magnitude also and direction also. In the case of vector, magnitude as well as direction will be there. Just see the second question. Which of the quantities distance, speed, velocity, time, displacement are scalar and vector? As I already told you, in the case of scalar, only the magnitude. Magnitude means a length. In the case of distance and displacement, they are coming in the scalar quantity. But speed, velocity, you can't say is a scalar. It is in a moving as well as direction. Magnitude, that is all direction also. So speed and velocity is in a vector quantity, but scalar is distance and displacement. So now, speed is what and velocity is what? You will think that speed and velocity both are same, but there is difference. They have the unit also same, but difference of only distance and displacement. In the case of speed, that is distance upon time. Now I already told you, distance is what? The object, it will move from north to south, south to what? West, or west to east. Not actual part. Turning from left to right, right to left, like this way. That is a distance. So that's why speed they are telling as a distance upon time. So in the case of speed, distance upon time, but in the case of velocity, displacement upon time. Displacement, you know, the object that moves only on a straight line, not changing the place. So in the case of displacement, that is velocity, displacement upon time. Now distance and displacement, they have the same unit, only the meter. Time is also same. So SI unit of the speed and velocity, it will be same, that is meter per second. And CGS is what? Centimeter per second. Now speed is related to distance, and velocity is related to the displacement. As already told you, distance is not in actual place that move from one place to another place, but in a opposite direction here and there, turning the places, changing the places. but in the case of displacement, only move in a straight line, only move in the same path. A simple an example, if the car moves onto the north direction, so it will be a displacement, but if it will change into the south direction, so then it will be a distance. But in the case of if the car move only in the south directions, then again it will be a displacement. So like this way, speed and velocity has a relations, but in a opposite manners, like in a vector quantity. Now distance travel in a particular direction by an object in a unit time. Distance they are telling in a particular directions that we are telling is a velocity. Is called, sorry, wait a minute. They are telling displacement travel in a particular directions, but in the distance case you will observe, in the case of the speed, that is distance upon time, they given distance travel in a particular direction by an object in unit time. Now unit time is what? It can be a minute also, second also, hour also. If large unit will be there, then it is a 1 year. It is in the case of satellites. A displacement that occur in a unit time is called velocity. Now just look at here. In the definition, first about the distance travel in a particular direction by an object in unit time is called velocity, and then again in the displacement that occur in unit time is velocity. There is a printing mistake, so you have to correct it there. In the above case of the third line, distance travel in a particular direction by an object in unit time is speed is there. The distance case is a speed, the displacement case is a velocity. Just correct it there in your notebook. So we will continue this lecture on the next day.